So I did a video on the AES 2008, and I found these pictures. It was AES 2007 when I was the Quested distributor. And first picture here, the same speakers I had the other one, the S6, S7, and S8. The S6 is the yellow one, the S7 is the blue one, and the S8 is the pinkish red one in the middle. And I think that Quested still makes the S8. Don't make the S6 or 7s anymore. And off to the left, that is the 3110, the three-way with a 10-inch woofer in there. The next picture, that is the Quested booth. You can see Roger there. He's checking out I had some info about this Sigma Sound Direct box that I was making with Joe Tarsia. It's that little light blue box it's right in front of him. He just wanted to read and see what was going on. The next picture. Oh, this is the show that I had gotten these. They're twin Greek girls. They're musicians. Helena Maria. That's what they go by. They're actresses too, but they're incredible musicians and singers. They came to the show, and I got them to just wear Quested shirts and just be at the booth. So took a picture of Roger with them. He just looks, doesn't look happy, but he took the picture. Next one, that's the API booth that was actually across the way from where we were at. And then the next picture, I don't know, Adamson, I don't know why he took that picture, but it gives you a vibe of the AES shows back then were a lot bigger than what they are now. And the next picture, the booth that was actually next to us was the PMC monitors. And they were a lot more respectful about keeping their noise level down. And that the guy with the striped shirt in the middle, he's a kind of wild man. When we were breaking down our booths, he was just took his shirt off. He was bare shirt and he didn't want a wrinkled shirt so he could take down the booth, which was it's kind of crazy. There's just a picture of the AES show. If you've been to the recent AES shows, they're not as big as they are, as they were. So, and next picture, those Quested monitors again. And here's the Quested booth. Funny thing about this one, on the right-hand side, those are all jars of licorice. So we get mango and I think cherry and apple. And I got them for people to come, maybe take a piece of licorice and sit down and talk with us. But what happened is people would just come to my booth and just take the licorice and eat it. And, just grab a handful and then just walk away. So they weren't talking to us at all. So all that licorice was gone within an hour and nobody spent any time talking to us. So that thinking just did not work. And you can see the pictures in the background of some of the bigger Quested installs that we had done. And the next picture, that was the 3110s. That piece on the left-hand side, you can unscrew it and make it so the tweeters goes to the top of the speaker. So you can set them up horizontally or vertically. Those things, they have a 1,000-watt amplifier in there just for the woofer. And most people don't know about them. They do sound good. Next picture, this was you can see the Sigma Sound Direct box. That's what I sold with Joe Tarsia. We made 50 of them, new old stock with the transformers, exactly the way that Joe made his. And then we had the flyer there that has a picture of Sigma, the way it was. And then we had some literature for Quested. And the two cards there are Scott Ray and Eric Klein. I think Scott Ray is now the main person for doing the Quested product in the United States. He's out of California. There's another picture. You can see the Quested booth, and you can see Roger just talking to someone. Next picture, that is the API booth, and they had the 1608, and then they had the expansion, and I think they just introduced the expansion at that show. So this was 2007. And you can see on the right-hand side, the radar. system. And the next picture, that's a better shot of the expansion for the 1608. And then, oh, here's a picture of the Shadow Hill. From the top, you have the Shadow Hill 500 series modules. Then underneath it, you have the 4-channel mic pre. That I don't think they make it anymore, but that was that. And then underneath that is their big compressor. They still make that. And then underneath that is their 8-channel mic pre. And I think that's out of production. And then underneath that is the 2-channel mic pre with the summing mixer in there. So, and then, oh, this is a company that all they do is they make VU meters. And I thought that was very interesting. That one in the middle at the bottom, it looks, I think Doug Fern must be getting his from there because it looks exactly like the meters on the DW Fern equipment. And then that's just another picture of the meters. And then there's another picture of the Shadow Hill gear. And I don't know who makes this microphone. It just looked very interesting. I'd like before everybody got there, I'd like going around and just taking pictures of things. Sometimes you couldn't find out what they were. And then the next picture, La Chapelle. I think that's how you pronounce it. That is their 500 series mic pre, and it has vacuum tube pre. So it's 2 modules, and that makes sense. But there's single channel mic pre's with tubes in them too. Then here was the Neve console, the what is it? The 50. Oh, I forgot what it's called. It's probably their 5088, I think it's called. I don't know. But that was their console. It may have been the first year. I don't know if it was up there. Oh, 500 series spec modules, which is kind of interesting. That's them. Next picture, Tone Lux modules and SPL. They had their 500 series at Transient Designers at the show. And then this was, I think, SPL's attempt at making their, it's not a 500 series module rack, it's their version of a modular system. I don't know if it's in production anymore. Everything SPL makes, it just looks great, and it sounds really good. But this is what they had. They were showing at the show. And then we have, there's Bronner microphones. I did a video about Bronner, and I was at the Mercenary booth. Great microphones. Just if you talk to Dirk Bronner, just be prepared for him to be short with you. He's not a happy person. Telefunken had their Volkswagen van there. They usually bring it to all the shows. It's interesting. And then the next picture, Shiny Box. This is with everything lit up, and you can see that guillotine. That has a ton of LEDs in there. And I don't know how it works exactly, but it looks interesting. I don't know if they ever ship them, and I don't know what they sound like, but looks kind of interesting. Next picture is JLM. I see these things, but I never used one. Looked interesting. That looks like they make their 500 series rack and they make their modules. And then I think at one point they used to make studio monitors too. It's just a very interesting company, but I never found out a lot about them. Oh, this was a picture. No clue. It's some kind of a monitor controller. Sometimes I would just take a picture, and then when I got home, I could look it up and find out more about it. I don't know if it ever went into production or not. And the next picture is another. I don't even know how you say that, but that's their surround monitor system. And then this picture, there's a company that got in touch with me about being the distributor for their acoustic panels. I think they're out of Portugal. And I said, sure, yeah, I could be the distributor. And they never sent me pricing. They never sent me availability. They never sent me samples. Nothing. But when I said, sure, I'll be the distributor, they list me as the distributor. So I know nothing about the product line as far as pricing, availability, and that, but they just took my email saying that I'll be the distributor if you want me to. And they listed me everywhere. But it's very interesting looking stuff. I think it's made out of fiberglass. So here's the next picture of theirs. It's interesting, panels. Oh, this is Crockwood. Crockwood, I have a little bit of history with. In the early 90s, I got in touch with them, and I talked to the lady she was the wife of the owner. The owner's name is Crispin, I think. And we had a long conversation because they made this mic pre it looked like a bucket. And the mic pre was in the bucket. And the thinking was you could put the mic pre really close to the microphone. So you'd have it right by the mic stand and just have a really short mic cable and then have a long cable going to your recorder. And I was really interested in the product line. It's just we couldn't make things happen for some reason. There was no representation in the United States. And I was talking to them in England, and I couldn't get them to send me a demo or it's something we just couldn't make it work. But I've known about them for a long time, and they've been around for a long time. So, and the next picture, there's some more. That's their mic pre from Crockwood. And this is their monitor controller. And then the next picture, this is Thermionic, how do you say it? Thermionic Culture. It's all tube gear. Independent Audio is the distributor for them, and they're really great people at Independent Audio. Fraser Jones and his wife, Jean. Every time I would see them at the show, Jean would give me a big hug, and Fraser's always so kind. And that's the kind of distributor you want. If you're interested in something, they'll send it right out. You can try it, and if you have any issues with it, they take care of it immediately. Just a great distributor. And they're not all that way, but they represent Thermionic Culture. So really nice product line. And the next picture is Blue. They always made some crazy designs. They had a designer from, I think they still have him, from Latvia. He was the main designer. And the other guy that owned the company, a guy from I think it was California, his name was Skip. And I was one of the first Blue microphone dealers after they had opened up the line. So I bought the whole line. And they make really nice microphones. Some are better than the others, and some are, they're good looking microphones, and that's that. I've even had that big bottle microphone. This was one of their mic pre's, the Robbie and what was that? I think that the Woodpecker. I think that was the ribbon microphone thing. But I don't think they make those anymore. And the next picture, Microtech-Gefällt. That's such an excellent microphone company. And it's a pity because they don't get the exposure that other microphone companies do. They don't make flashy stuff. I mean, that's probably about their flashiest microphone that they make. But if you get it, it's so rich and big sounding. I had done a microphone shootout when I was over at Angel Mountain. We recorded piano and acoustic guitars, and we had all these different microphones. I did it with the cheapest microphones we had all the way up to the most expensive microphones, so you could hear everything. I got to find that and make a video and a link so you guys could hear it. Because when you listen to the Microtech-Gefällt, they just sound so fat and natural sounding. Okay, so the next. This was a company called, Violet. And they're made in Latvia too, like the Blue microphones. And the designer the one was called Blue, and then this other guy started a company called Violet. So it was their competition. It's just kind of like Adam Speakers. Then one of the guys from Adam went and started his own company called Eve. So I don't know if many people get that. Here's another one of the Violet, booths. Okay, the next. There's another Violet microphone. I think this was one of their early shows that they were at, so they were still a new company. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Another Violet microphone. And then here's another Violet microphone. and another violet. They're just fascinating to me. And then here's another violet microphone. Yeah, I just took a bunch of, so here's, and then the next, more violet microphones. It just looked all interesting to me. And then this, I think this is an Italian company. And I'm pretty sure those were 500 series modules that they just had a multi-purpose use. I don't know what they do exactly. I have to study them a little bit more, but it was something I saw and I said, all right, let me take a picture of this. Let's see, in the next picture, there's a company called Cascade. And I don't think they're around anymore because they changed their name, but a very interesting design. And then the last picture is, it's another picture of Cascade, just different lighting. So there you go. I hope you find this interesting.